Welcome, wonderful friends, to the Sunday rune and card readings. Thank you so much for joining me. In just, well, around 24 hours time, we are going to be reaching an incredibly powerful full moon, quite an extraordinary full moon, which is also aligning with the turning point of the equinoxes. I don't know about you guys, but for the last few days I have literally been feeling that kind of magical pause in the earth energy. Very interesting astrological stuff going on. I'll put a link at the end of this video actually to my younger sister Jocelyn, who's a brilliant astrologer. She's done a lovely little video about the full moon energy and of the kind of turning point that we are in. I mean, I am really feeling it. Now, it's interesting. I usually, for anyone new to my channel and to my readings, I usually draw on additional guidance for each of the readings. And it's often quite specific, so it kind of helps you to intuitively know which one is speaking to you. Actually, what I know and have heard already, today's readings, all three of them, all of them are going to be about fruition in some way. Now, I have just had a wander. I've been out for a walk. This is the bounty of my walk, also a couple of things from my garden, but mostly from the wild, including coming across these beautiful buzzard feathers actually today. We have wild cranberries, wild rose hips, wild slowberries, blackberries, wild plums, apples from one of the trees in my garden, and sunflower seeds also from my garden. But every single reading in its own different way will be about this turning point. It will be about fruition in some way, with, I'm hearing as well, guidance as to the next step forwards. Astrologically, we are about to, Mercury is pretty much standing still now as well. We are about to move into a full-on Mercury retrograde period on top of so many other large planets in retrograde. We are going to see a big shift in energy during October, but not for a few weeks yet. And so I will also be doing the big 3 monthly readings that run through October, November and December. So really, you know, watch out for those. Anyone that is new to my channel, if you want to get notification as soon as I post any of these videos, I do a big 3 monthly set of videos where I put an overview onto YouTube for the next 3 months for every sign. If you press the subscribe, if you subscribe and press the little bell icon, I have no idea how YouTube algorithms work. It's quite beyond me. You might want to bookmark the channel page, the channel homepage as well. That way hopefully you'll get notification, or just get yourselves on one of my email lists, and that way everything should come through. I've just uploaded yesterday the notification of the winners as well for my free private reading, Art of Manifestation Oracle cards, and the diary and journal, the Art of Manifestation Astro-Moon diary and journal for 2022. It is so exciting. But I'm not going to talk too much about that. What I'll do is put a little video on at the end of this, in case I'll just add it on in case anybody is interested. You can tune in with this now. So birds are joining us. We have a magpie in the garden and a beautiful crow simultaneously. They've both just flown in. So every reading is going to be about fruition, this turning point, this magical turning point where we are invited to review, reflect before moving forwards. There could well be some soul searching for some of us. For others, it's really about a kind of an easing into the next energetic flow forwards. Now, for those of you who want to just jump straight through to the readings, the timestamps are in the information box below, along with all the relevant links to everything that I've just spoken of. You know, the email list to enter the prize draw, all that kind of stuff. I'll put them along with the timestamps in the information box and in the comments for phone users. So enough of that. Let's clear some of this stuff out of the way, and I'm going to draw the cards. I know a lot of people like to sit with me as I draw the cards and the runes, but as I said, you can move forwards if you wish and go straight to the readings if you already know which one is speaking to you. I'm going to draw from 2 different spirit animal guide packs this week. Something about tuning into nature in a really big way. We have the energy of the bird nation. We have fruits, plants here, and beautiful energy coming in from the animal nation as well. Oh, wow. Excuse me. Now, I can't use that card because you've seen it. But if it comes out again, it will be interesting to see. Because this is a pick a card reading. If that was any other reading, I would be immediately using that card as it's shown itself to us. Okay, so we're going to have 3 readings. We're going to draw from, my oldest and original tarot pack. This is the Mythic Tarot. We will use, we'll use one from, and not that one. We'll use the Art of Manifestation Oracle cards as well. Just one. And also an angel card. Runes now. Yeah, I'm hearing just one today. It's unusual. Okay, so wonderful friends, this is the time to sit with the cards, see which pile or piles are speaking to you, which reading is speaking to you. I know for some people it's more than one. Tune in with your intuition, press the pause button if you need to, and I will see you in the readings. Tons and tons of love to you all. Namaste. Welcome to reading number 1. We have the rune of joy. Now this is a fruit-bearing rune. It's a rune of fruition. It really indicates that a time of difficulty has come to an end. Out of darkness into light, carried across the gap by the wings of heaven. There's some sense of completion in order to come into fruition. This is beautiful. What a beautiful energy to start our first reading with, in terms of just the energy of harvest, the energy of completions. Okay, so take back your power. This is interesting. Archangel Raziel. Use your God-given power and intention to manifest blessings in your life. Ground yourself. This is literally a request to ground yourself. Go outdoors, take off your shoes and find somewhere where it's safe to stand barefoot. Imagine roots growing out of your feet, traveling down into the soil beneath you, anchoring you with the nurturing energy of the earth. Guys, you've been through something quite, I want to say tumultuous, if that's the right word. You've been through something big. Like, it seriously either rocked your world or... yeah, we have the world in reverse here. See what other cards we have. Wolf, Pathfinder, and Dear Spirit, bring a gentle touch. Wow, Wolf, Pathfinder, release your past and start a new journey. You are a teacher and you help others find their way. There will be challenges, but your soul is strong. Perseverance is your secret power. You have a love that endures. Bring a gentle touch. The gentle touch is bringing a gentle touch to yourself. The Wolf Pathfinder is really, really the card that for me is leaping out here, hence the ground yourself. You guys have been through something huge. Just going to move these cards up here. Okay. You've been through something really big, really epic. and it's coming to an end. It's a completion of something. For some of you, it's something that actually went back many years. For some of you, there could be, you've come to, it's like coming through a relationship ending, or a phase of life, a chapter of life has come to an end, but it's really big. And you are literally in a place where you're about to start a new journey. You've literally walked through the door. You're already there at that turning point. The key here is that you haven't yet forged that pathway into the new beginning. Something has come to a completion. We have the world in reverse. There's a lot of energy here, all in reverse. Look at these. Everything is sitting in reverse. Now, I think this is simply because the energy is in retrograde at the moment. In a moment, I'm going to write these cards. It's interesting, the Mythic Tarot as a pack, they weren't really designed to be read in reverse. If you are familiar with this particular pack, they are all in an upright position, and they suggest reading them in an upright position. But I kind of feel when they show up in reverse, it tends to tell us that something isn't quite yet moving forwards. Now, that's really fair comment given all of the retrograde energy. I almost feel like you need to take a breather. Take back your power, but do it gently. If you're able to press the pause button, if you can take a break, go on a retreat, have a holiday, take some time out. It is the time to be moving forwards. You are at this crucial point of building a whole new phase of life for yourself. However, it isn't yet emerging. It's almost as though the harvest of one phase is coming to a completion. But actually what you are now building in terms of the new phase, it's not quite there yet. Press the pause button, take a breather, reground yourself, regroup yourself. It's like whatever you went through, you've come out of it either feeling very shattered or almost as if you're a little bit fragmented. You know when we go through a huge amount, wow, I have to say, I always listen to nature. We have the most beautiful, beautiful buzzard literally just hovering above us at the moment. Stunning, and it's really interesting. It's stationary. It's flown in and it's literally stationary. Now it's really interesting. It's stationary and now it's flown into the direction of the east, which is about new beginnings. That's lovely. It came in from the west, paused. I always feel, you know, nature will communicate to us and show us what we need to see. Lovely. It's flown into the east. This is suggesting new beginnings, but you need to pause. We have these beautiful buzzard feathers that I literally found today on my walk. I always feel they offer such guidance. That's magical to have the buzzard show itself to us at this same time. I'm feeling really emotional. You know, whatever you guys have been through in your own unique pathways, on your own unique journeys, you've had to face a lot through this phase that you've been through, whatever relationships you had. I am feeling really emotional. If it's a health issue, it's come to an end. This is a really big completion for you. But you are in this space of a new dawn, the rune of joy. I mean, it's magical. It's the energy of the East. It is a new dawn, the dawning not just of a new day, but of a new era. Now, I'm going to systematically turn these cards into an upright position. They are in a reverse position because it is not the time for you to plough forwards. It's the time for you to consolidate, knowing that the new dawn will emerge. I'm going to be really interested to see how the 3 monthly readings emerge. I'm literally over the next week going to be immersing myself in those readings, and then I will be posting them. So, you know, keep an eye out for those, guys, because I mean, this is such a powerful transitionary year. 2022 is incredible as well. Check out the information on the diaries, and I'll be posting more about the overall flow of energy through 2022 as well. Now, let's focus now on this point in time. This is you stepping back into your own power. But do so gently, with love of yourself. please. Absolute love of yourself. Press the pause button. Take a breather if you can. First of all, let's place into the upright position the card of the World. This is both a completion and a new beginning. It's also a recognition and a validation of the journey that you have been through that's brought you to this space of fruition. Something very big you are in this turning point. And here we have the Ace of Pentacles, new beginnings. This is magical. To have the Ace of Pentacles followed by the King. Now what this is telling us is, this is a space of completions. It's both an ending and a beginning. A phase of life is coming to an end. The new is going to begin. And this is a period, you are entering a period of true fruition. It's like the King of Pentacles, you know, having the Midas touch. It's like literally the things, the ideas, the spark of creation, the stuff you wish to manifest is going to turn to gold, you know, and by that I don't necessarily just mean materially. I'm talking in all aspects of your life, and things are going to move forwards. They are going to move forwards, but I just feel right here, right now, take a breather, bring things to a completion. There's still just a few little tiny little bits and pieces, that's what I'm seeing, that you need to do. Cross the T's, dot the I's. It's like that, you know, when we come to that point of harvest and we have to pull all the stops out even though we're exhausted to bring in the harvest. That's where you're at. For some of you, something has concluded and you're already stepping through that door, but there's a tiredness. You've just been through so much. For others, there's just a few little loose ends to still tidy up. Yeah, little bits and pieces. I think it has come to an end. There is an energy of completion around. There's no question of it, but there are a few little bits and pieces to tidy up. That's fine, just do them gently, be methodical, be steady, be impeccable in the detail here, but actually things are going to move forwards. Once the shift of energy occurs, once those loose ends are tied up, everything is going to spring forwards. And here we have the Four of Swords. You may want to even spend some time contemplating what it is you actually wish to really, really focus on. For some of you, there's more than one choice available in terms of almost like the next chapter. What's your focus? What do you want to move into? Just take your time. Don't rush. In fact, I would venture to say for some of you, it's like, as this card says, you know, there will be challenges, but your soul is strong. Perseverance is your secret power. You have a love that endures. I'm seeing, yeah, it's a pathway forwards, and it's full of fruit, full of harvest. You've come to the end of something. It's almost like you've come to the end of a period of struggle. It doesn't mean that it's going to emerge overnight, and yet I do think the pace may quicken and things will start to come into fruition. In fact, for some of you, there's a completion of something and you're going to see the rewards of this. That's part of the completion. Again, there's a few loose ends to tie up. You're going to see the rewards for this period of work that you've been embarking on. If some of you have been really involved in a particular project, it's coming to that space of completion. You're going to see the rewards for this and you're going to start moving forwards. But you do still need to be gentle with yourself. Bring a gentle touch, dear spirit. It is time for you to emerge afresh. But yeah, this reading is sort of saying, just fundamentally look after yourself. There are I am seeing loose ends, literally little pieces of threads that need to be tied up, practical stuff. You're going to see some rewards coming into you quite quickly, I think, but there are also new beginnings to be considered, new stages of growth to be contemplated. I almost feel as though in many ways the key to your strength now is, and the key to your perseverance is, the understanding that you've gained in terms of not always ploughing forwards, sort of knowing that actually it's kind of like you guys have I sort of want to say you've slightly cracked it in terms of manifestation as well. For some of you, you've really learned to engage with the art of allowing. Again, really working with those natural rhythms and cycles. So sometimes you're moving forwards very fast, at other times you're taking it gently. But yeah, rewards are coming your way quite quickly in terms of the completion of something. You're going to see that completion coming in some form of harvest, fruition, and I think that will come quite quickly. But there is also a period of time when you need to just take a breather. Have a holiday if you can. Go on a retreat. Guys, wow is what I want to say. The world is going to open up for you. You are literally stepping into your power. You're moving into a whole new phase. Yeah, I just want to say it's really well earned. Good on you. I felt very emotional in the middle of this reading. Really felt the depth of the transition that you've come through and the strength of your spirit, your soul that has come because it's been hard earned. So yeah, really just sending you so much love. Well, wonderful friends, there is nothing more to say. Do look out for the big 3 monthly readings that I'll be uploading the overviews onto YouTube. I'll be letting you know about them if you're on any of my email lists. You know, I'll be posting about the diary as soon as they're available, the diary and the journal as soon as they're available on Amazon. There's going to be a PDF that you can download so you can access all that lunar information on your phone as well. So much happening in my world anyway. So again, interestingly enough, coming to a sense of fruition and completion in one way, but a period of some activity as well. Wonderful friends, so much love to you. Namaste. Welcome to reading number 2. Let's have a look at our rune. Okay, so we have the rune of the warrior, the spiritual warrior. It's in reverse though. Now this rune is all about discernment, needing to make clear decisions. Now I know that all of these readings in their own way are going to be about fruition in some way. Maybe you're having trouble letting go of something or closing something down or completing something. Let's have a look at the cards. Open the floodgates, and also brilliant idea. This is really interesting. So we have the card of open the floodgates. We have brilliant idea. Let's have a look. We have perseverance, the card of perseverance. We have swan spirit, time for a deep dive. We're going to do some energy shifting in this reading. There's something that's been building up. Okay. You're needing to deep dive and persevere through something, come through something. The Ram says you have many gifts. No problem can withstand the power of your mind. With patience, you can reach your mountaintop. Never give up and good luck will follow. There's something about, I don't know whether something hasn't quite come to you that you wanted in some way. Okay, so we've got some threes here. 3 of Wands. We have the Lovers in reverse, King of Swords. You're having difficulty making a decision about something. You're going to make the decision, or I'm going to say it's going to be made for you, I think. And your ultimate desire is going to come to you. You know, the thing that you are trying to get is going to come to you. You know, brilliant idea. Yes, your idea is divinely guided. Please take action to bring your idea to fruition. Swan spirit, time for a deep dive. Now, the 3 of Wands is really interesting because next to the Lovers, you know, I was saying in reading 1, these cards are not actually designed particularly to be read in reverse. But I'm curious when they show up in reverse. And we will be doing a little bit of energy shifting in this reading. The challenge here, I think, is that someone isn't quite giving you what you want, or someone's not quite Maybe they haven't been quite honest with you in some way, or you believed that someone was going to give you something you wanted, and it hasn't really quite come to fruition. In a way, it is coming to fruition because you're needing to move beyond that. You're needing to be discerning and yet not lose sight of your long-term vision. You know, sometimes if something doesn't work out or somebody doesn't deliver, you know, we actually just need to move on and, you know, find the right person, the right, you know, whatever it is, the right company, the right business, the whatever it is, who can deliver. What this is telling me is you are going to get what you desire. There is a way forwards here. You're being asked to hold your vision and persevere. And yet simultaneously, don't be too specific about either the route or who you think or what you think is going to get you what you want, if that makes sense. I kind of feel like I almost need to re-say that to kind of grasp it in my mind. Basically, I'm kind of feeling that there's some aspect of being let down by somebody or something didn't come through in some way. And it's kind of left you feeling a little bit clogged up emotionally. You do need to release your emotions and talk about this stuff. It's really important. If we're unable to acknowledge and talk about our feelings, they stack up and build up like a pressure cooker waiting to blow, colouring our ability to see clearly. This card calls you to acknowledge your emotions and find a way to release them. Write down your thoughts and feelings, and if needed, reach out for professional help. This is the kind of stuff of, it's what I would say, you know, when we get, you know, like we write a letter never to send. It's like there's something unresolved, or we need to voice something. It is time for a deep dive, but your fundamental idea, the thing you really want, the stuff that you're wanting to manifest, this is not an all or nothing situation. That's what I feel I want to say. It's kind of like, it's almost like if this bit, if it didn't work out with that particular strategy, I think there's a challenge around feeling despondent and feeling as though you'll never get the thing you wanted. It's never going to come to fruition. You know, I don't know, the book you wanted to write, you're never going to get the publisher, or, you know, the relationship that didn't work out, you're never going to find the one, or the job that didn't work out, you're never going to find the perfect pathway. This is saying, actually, hold your vision. You are going to. This is the problem here. It's to do with choices and decisions here. It's like your vision is clouded because something didn't work out, and there's that sense of despondency around it. You know, if you've sent off that manuscript, let's say, to, you know, 6 publishers, and you didn't get, and none of them worked out, it doesn't mean you won't get a publisher. You know, I think J.K. Rowling or something, I think I read somewhere she sent off to something like 26 different publishers, and they all rejected Harry Potter. And I mean, you know, now look at where she is and where that book went. So, you know, this has got that flavour. As I said, it may be a relationship or a career pathway. Something hasn't happened or come to fruition in some way, and it's the danger is that the emotions around it, you use that experience to sort of leave you believing. Beautiful butterfly flying through, transformation we're being shown here. Really interesting. It came in from the west, which is a place of release. It's in the native medicine wheel, the place in the west is where we face things, we look at things, we look at ourselves above and beyond anything, and, you know, we face things and we move through them. It's like a hall of mirrors. So there's sort of some almost illusion. We're not seeing clearly here because through disappointment or something that didn't work out, we're feeling as though something didn't quite happen. And Perseverance, you have many gifts. No problem can withstand the power of your mind. We'll do some energy shifting. You need to be discerning and let go of either an idea or a perspective or a belief that says this isn't going to work out. You need to let go of that fundamental belief that says it's not going to happen because this didn't happen, or that publisher didn't accept it, or that job didn't work out, or that relationship didn't work out. It's not going to happen for me. Yes, it is. It's time to let go of this. You need to get crystal clear and start to initiate some choices here. You know, it's almost like there's your sense of entitlement. It's really interesting because you do have a sense of entitlement that's still intact within you. Three of Wands, I'm seeing that sense of entitlement, and yet simultaneously it's as if the way forwards is clouded. Now remember, the energy overall at the moment astrologically is like a turning point, and there's a pause in the energy. I mean, for me, especially when I walk out in nature, it's tangible. Even if there is quite a strong breeze, there was today when I walked, and even though there was a strong breeze, there's the most incredible stillness as well. Things have stopped. There is this pause, this natural energetic pause for breath, and I don't think we're really going to see the energy quicken or pick up until, you know, sometime in October. I am really looking forward to doing the October, November, December readings. I do these really big 3-monthly readings, and it gives us such an overview of this next energetic flow between the equinox and the solstice. So that's going to be my week ahead. I'm going to be doing those big readings. So yeah, watch out. I'll be posting the overviews on YouTube and all sorts of stuff. Your sort of fundamental self-belief is intact, which is great. But emotionally, it's like you're still carrying quite a lot. Just you need to let that go. On my library, I have a free library, the A to Z of Emotional Health. It's www.azemotionalhealth.com. I don't know if I can bring that up on the screen. I used to have it, but I don't know. Yeah, here we go, www.azemotionalhealth.com. In the library, there is, if you go to the meditation pages, it's a membership site, but it's completely free. It will always be a free resource. It's why I created it. If you go to the meditation pages, there are several meditations, they're guided meditations that are very specifically about emotional release and understanding how to shift our emotions so that even the challenging ones become a source of empowerment. So if that's relevant to you, do check that out. Deep inside, you know the direction you want to go. The challenge is actually really stepping up and making these choices, letting something come to its natural completion, and persevering and holding your vision. You will be letting something go. You will be leaving something behind, whatever that is, whether it's a specific career pathway, a job, a relationship, an attitude, a belief, a particular set of publishers, agents, whatever it is, you're going to leave something behind. It's going to come to its natural completion, and you are going to move forwards. You're going to regain your perspective, your direction, your sense of vision. It is coming, and you already have, I think you have a clarity of intention around you. You need to persevere, but not hold the same course, basically. That's the gist of this. So let's do some energy shifting. Choices are in front of you here. So sit with the energy as we are here. Okay, just sit with that energy. I think we're going to, so I saw that beautiful butterfly coming in from the west. It then moved actually into the north direction. Now butterflies are about transformation. They're representative of transformation. When they move into the north, we are asked to really open ourselves to receive guidance, accept the guidance that we're shown. Don't be stuck in one way of doing things. So, what am I going to draw on to do this energy shifting? Let's see. I think what we'll do is we'll use some amethyst crystals here. Now, amethyst is a master crystal. It's a master healer. It's a beautiful, beautiful energy. So I'm going to bring an amethyst point in here. And I'm going to sit it down here, And I'm going to shift the warrior rune into an upright position. Okay, that's fabulous. The energy of the warrior rune, discernment. We let go, we cut away the stuff that is no longer serving us. We sever the cords that tied us to a previous attitude, pathway, thinking pattern, direction. The end goal is still the same. Your desire is still the same. Your idea is still the same. You need to persevere. Choices are going to become available to you. But you do have to practice discernment. It's really, really important. You need to build on that sense of entitlement. Choices are going to be available to you, and you need to make some really clear decisions here. And then once you've made those decisions, stay on that pathway. As I said, there's balancing up. You will need to let something go. You will be walking away from something. You'll be leaving a conflict of some sort behind, whether it's in your mind, whether it's with something, someone, a situation. You will be leaving something behind, but the direction will become clear. You know, things are going to move forwards for you. At the moment, it's simply that your ability to make this decision and to be really clear and discerning. I'm bringing in more energy. The decision to be discerning is clouded by something. And I think there is that sense of despondency, of being let down. You thought it would work out and it didn't. As I said, just remember the 26 publishers and Harry Potter, whatever it is. It's going to come through. You're going to find that renewed clarity of direction. You need to get back on course, and you will get back on course. But something has to be left behind in the process. There are choices and decisions to make. Things need to be weighed up and balanced. You're going to refine your direction with clarity, and perseverance is called for. Your fundamental idea and desire is absolutely brilliant and perfect, so don't lose sight of it. Wonderful friends, it's this turning point, it's this energy of fruition. It's really interesting because sometimes fruition means that something has come to its natural completion, some aspect of our world, a situation, a circumstance, a person, an idea, a particular pathway to something. We can still get to the end goal, but we need a different pathway, and we need to let go of the previous perspective that there was only one way to get there. That's the energy of this reading. Wonderful friends, do watch out for the big 3 monthlies and the overviews I'll be posting. Do watch out for information on the Art of Manifestation, Astro-Moon Diary and Journal. Watch out, I'm going to be doing webinars as well, live webinars about working with the lunar energy, empowerment through the lunar energy. So yeah, watch out for all of those as well. Yeah, thank you so much, all of you, for joining me, and tons of love to you all. Namaste. Welcome to reading number 3. Let's have a look at our rune. This is the rune of initiation. This is a rite of passage. So this transitionary period, this harvest, this turning point is very much a turning point for you guys. Let's have a look at our cards. Compromise and claircognizance. So first of all, compromise. Are you in a situation where you need to make a compromise, or are you compromising too much? This card asks you to review your position and be sure to find a solution that takes the needs of all parties into account, including yourself. We then have Archangel Uriel. Pay attention to thoughts and ideas that come to you as they are answered prayers. Okay, so you're needing to navigate your way through something here. What is it that you're navigating? Okay, we have Giraffe, visionary. Rise above earthly matters. Glide through life with grace. You are able to see the right path. Stand tall in your self-worth and love with a big heart. Okay, you're navigating something. You're coming through a transition in some way. We have Rhino Spirit, overcome any obstacle. Okay, so whatever's going on around you, You're going to find your way through it. You are in a transitionary period here. Now, this is interesting. We have the Magician in reverse here. Five of Pentacles, the Emperor in reverse, the Devil in reverse, Queen of Pentacles. There's a lot of reverse cards here. Now, it's interesting, I've been saying in both reading 1 and 2 that in this particular pack, the cards are not really designed to be read in reverse, but I'm going to just listen up to this, especially with so much retrograde energy around astrologically. You see, you are navigating through something and you're needing to be, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like tactful, thoughtful about something. You're having to process something. You're having to you are negotiating here. Now, whatever it is you're negotiating, I want you to be yourself, and yet simultaneously, you need to be yourself. You need to honor what you need here, and yet simultaneously, you're going to need, gosh, I almost want to say, I'm not sure that whoever you're negotiating with, okay, I don't know if they're telling you everything, okay, I'm not sure if all the cards are on the table yet. So really pay attention. Archangel Uriel, claircognizance, listen to the thoughts and ideas that come to you. I'm also hearing in your dreams. If something is coming through in your dreams, pay attention to your dreams. Someone isn't quite giving you the entire picture. That's basically what's going on. Now, you're coming through a transition of some sort here. It's like a rite of passage. You're moving through something. Again, fertility, harvest. It's a process. Whatever it is that you're navigating, I think it's going to come to you. It's not coming immediately, okay? But part of this is that you are, you need to be yourself at the same time. Gosh, I just do feel somebody's not giving you all the information. That's really what I want to say. Or you're not actually giving all the information. Now, it may be that you're needing to be quite thoughtful about this. Whatever situation you're in, this card is really important. Are you in a situation where you need to make a compromise, or are you compromising too much? Just review, think about the needs of everybody here. Rise above earthly matters, glide through life with grace. Stand tall in your self-worth. There's an interesting energy in this reading. It's almost as though something isn't quite upfront enough yet for you to be able to move forwards. Do you know, in some way, I almost feel like neither party are being quite upfront. You know, there's a guardedness here. I don't necessarily think for everyone that it's somebody being underhanded. For some of you, there may be somebody that is genuinely being underhanded. I'm just going to voice that really clearly. And you're going to need to stand tall, be very, very strong, and make some very clear decisions that are about your own interests. But for others, it's more like there's something, you're negotiating something and it's in its early stages, and I think both parties are being a bit tentative about putting all their cards on the table. It's almost like, if we were talking relationship, for example, it's like you haven't really quite got to know each other yet enough to be able to really be clear or upfront or really honest about your position or your feelings about something. But as I said, for others, maybe the information isn't being, you're not being given enough information really as yet. But I do feel for some of you there's quite a balance here. It's not all done without with negative intent either. It's almost as though you're not quite sure yet. You're tentatively finding your way, you're feeling your feet, you're in that space of discovering, you know, what is this going to be like? You know, it's like if you've applied for a job, you're now going through the small print of the, you know, the nitty-gritty, the detail before you kind of sign the contract. It's kind of like needing to look at these things. Yeah, there's something you're processing, and it's quite right that you do so. Okay, pay attention to thoughts and ideas that come to you. Navigate this gently. I'm sort of seeing almost like doors opening and doors closing. That's what I'm seeing. And I almost want to say as well, I think it's sort of right. It doesn't feel like this is negative. I think you're going to get what you are after. You know, you're going to need to look after yourself here. Look after your needs will be met, I think, ultimately. The key here is being yourself. Be your authentic self. Stand tall in your self-worth. Love with a big heart. Your interests are really important here. You know, so are those of other people. I am just seeing these doors opening, closing, open. It's like you're edging forwards. Now, this is really interesting because the energy of the rune of initiation, for me, it always feels like a rite of passage. And a rite of passage, it's a bit like a birth. You know, sometimes, you know, a birth can happen very quickly, you know, literally, you know, waters break and suddenly, we're there. And other times it can take a long time. You know, there's periods where, you know, it takes a long time, and you know, there are times to breathe and times to push, and I'm feeling that's where you are. It's this toing and froing. Now the fruition is going to come. Look at the lovely, lovely imagery on this beautiful card. Queen of Pentacles. She's holding a lovely pentacle. She's in a space of harvest. Lovely card of self-care. Now we're going to do a bit of shifting of the cards where we process the energy here. I think they're in reverse, not because there's something wrong as such, but just because we are in this space where something is edging forwards. Some aspect of your world isn't quite at its space of full fruition yet. Pay attention because you are having to negotiate and navigate this. It's really important, whatever area of your life this is. Now, let's move the Magician. So sit with the energy as we are. I'm going to, first of all, put the Magician into an upright position. Whew, that feels better already. Now, moving this into the upright position feels like a very conscious decision to say, right, okay, I'm going to take charge of these negotiations on behalf of myself. You know, this is about conscious free will and choice. You can't make decisions for anyone else. You can only navigate your own pathway. That's true for us all. So as we move into fruition and harvest, yeah, we are going to be looking for all of the signs as they come to us. The way is going to become clear. The key here is to recognize your own position of empowerment. You're not a victim to this. If something isn't up front, you can ask, or do you know what's also coming through? Listen not only to what is said, but listen to what isn't said as well. You know, I think it's really interesting when you are negotiating with somebody. If you listen to the gaps, you know, sometimes it's obvious that something isn't being said. Or if you've met someone, they talk all about one aspect of their life but not another, and there's something's missing. Listen to the pieces that are missing. They are signs as well. And process this. You don't have to be wide open, but process this. Take time to evaluate. You are navigating something that's important to your process of manifestation. Part of this, really interestingly, part of the rite of passage is that you're learning to navigate, and you're learning to negotiate in ways that take all parties into account. You're actually learning to do something differently, in a way that also prioritizes your own needs. For some of you, this is really new. You haven't actually previously negotiated from a position of your own strength. You've tended to either back down or let the other person win, or walk away from a situation because it's not quite what you want. This is about negotiating differently from a position of strength and solidness, knowing that you can be guided. And there's a real a loveliness in this, you know, stand tall in your self-worth, love with a big heart. There literally is a sense of self-love and self-respect coming in here. That's part of the learning from this situation. The Emperor. Be your own hero. Be your own heroine. Know what it is that you want and stand firm. There are going to be some areas where you need to not back down. Hold true to your own values. Yeah, whatever you're navigating, be really clear about what it is you want. There are some areas that you can compromise in, but others that you aren't. You know, if this is a relationship navigation, as it were, a negotiation, then it's kind of like, you know, compromise isn't about compromising the integrity of who you are. It's about, you know, compromise is, you know, what shall we have for dinner? If you fancy pizza and I fancy, you know, an Italian, or rather than a pizza, I don't know, lasagna or something. It's compromises. Well, we'll have one thing or the other. We'll see what we both want, and I don't mind not having what I want. But it's not about compromising who you are as a fundamental person, your values. So there's something about holding firm over certain things, and yet letting other things go and being very conscious about this. This is this process of manifestation where you're consciously aware. We have the card of the Devil here. This is really about you being true to yourself. This is the bit that's a real learning curve, because some of you have inherently previously always followed certain patterns. You've let things go or done it the way the other person wanted. You've conceded. You've negotiated from a position of a lack of self-worth. And this is different now. This is about you walking to the beat of your own drum. There's something quite liberating here. Now, the Devil can sometimes make a reference to addictions. It can be a card of addiction. So if, again, you are navigating something where, again, somebody's wants, desires, needs, you know, addictions are all about needs, you know, be thoughtful. Again, you can compromise over certain things, but not everything. And lastly, we're going to put the Queen of Pentacles into an upright position, because this for me is about self-care. Yeah, everything in this reading is about negotiation. It's almost as if the process of negotiation itself is the space of learning and the space of fruition. You will come through this, and I think ultimately, I think the harvest will come. Part of the harvest is this self-worth. You know, it's the self-worth that comes from this process of negotiation, where you honestly and genuinely own your own needs. You do consider the needs of others, but you balance this in a very, very different way. Now, pay attention, Archangel Uriel, pay attention to thoughts and ideas that come to you as they are answered prayers. Overcome any obstacle. You're going to get to where you need to be. This is very powerful. You're just needing to navigate this with a lot of thought and a lot of guidance. It is a rite of passage in itself, but you will emerge. And yeah, giraffe, visionary, rise above earthly matters, glide through life with grace. You are able to see the right path, stand tall in your self-worth, and love with a big heart. This is going to come right. The key here as well, and it's a really strong message coming through, is don't worry about it. There's a danger that sometimes when we're involved in a negotiation, or we've started something, we're unsure about it, and we're needing to test the waters, doors opening, doors closing, it's almost as though we start to worry a lot about it. And the more we worry, it's almost the more we slow the process down, and we get bogged down in the worry rather than holding the vision. You are being asked not to worry. You can navigate this one step at a time. You will overcome any obstacles, and the pathway will be shown to you. So whatever aspect of your life this is, because this is a generic reading, so it will be unique to you each, the negotiation is going to be fine. The key here is walk tall, be yourself, hold your self-worth, and stop worrying about it. That's the biggie. wonderful friends, tons and tons of love. I'm going to be so fascinated to see what happens in these big 3 monthly readings, especially as we start to draw cards through into October, when, you know, the retrograde energy that's been around for a while is going to start moving, shifting forwards, and we're going to see things start to move onwards. So do watch out for any notifications, the overviews of those readings as I put them onto YouTube. Do subscribe and press the bell icon if you want to get those coming into your stream. Join an email list of mine if you want to be either in the monthly draw or get notification of any of the readings as I post them. I don't send an email out every week about the weekly readings. I do these every Sunday, but you know, regarding the diary, the journal, we're going to be doing webinars, live webinars about working with the lunar influences, the energy of the moon. So much stuff coming over the next sort of period of the next quarter. So yeah, just get yourself connected in whatever way. Again, Facebook, I post daily stuff on Facebook as well, with the moon times and moon positionings. So yeah, whatever you do, if you want to keep abreast of all the stuff that's going, you know, access the information through the links that are in the information box and the comments as well. Wonderful people, tons and tons of love to you. Namaste. Welcome everyone, and thank you so much for joining me for this video where I'm going to talk about the Art of Manifestation Astro-Moon Diary and Journal for 2022. This is the 3rd year of the diary, and I think it's honestly taken me 3 years to really feel that I've got the formula how I want it, to really give you the right information in the right way to be able to use the lunar energy in terms of basically enhancing your everyday quality of life. When we really understand how the lunar energy affects us, we really can learn to align with the natural rhythms and cycles of life. It has honestly enhanced my own quality of life so much. So it's really so exciting to be able to share this with you. Now, in this video, I'm going to first of all talk about the Art of Manifestation Astro-Moon Diary. It's a little bit different in its formula this year, so those of you who are already using it, you'll see some key differences as I go through this. This is really all about giving you much more readily available and accessible information about the different phases of the moon, so you can align your diary and your calendar with them, and really develop a deeply personal relationship with the moon herself and with the lunar cycles. The journal is different again. I'll then in a moment look at the journal after the diary. In the journal, I have shared this year a lot of information about the tribal moon cycles and with the Celtic moon cycles. For me, I've been working with these really closely for the last year, and I have to say they've blown me away in terms of how they have enhanced my ability to really understand how to consciously work with this energy. So the journal is very different to the diary. It contains very different information. It has 13 sections, all connected in with the lunar cycles of the 13 tribal moons and the 13 Celtic moon understandings. There's also in the journal sections on detailed new moon and full moon wishes, intentions and ceremonies. So it's a very different book. You can use them together or you can use them completely independently of each other. Lastly, what I'm going to do is then talk about a Kindle edition that we have created, and also a PDF that you can download onto your phone. Now, this has come about because not everybody uses a paper diary, you know, an actual real diary. Lots of people use online diaries these days. But they still want that information. They still want the lunar information. So this year we have created a Kindle version, which is due to be launched on the 1st of October, very excitingly. And also my colleague James is going to upload into our store a PDF version, which you can actually put onto your phone. So I'll speak about that as well. It means you can really access all of the information you need from either, you know, the diary, the journal, plus more, literally at your fingertips. So really exciting. There's exciting changes. There are exciting differences in this year's diary and journal, and as I said, plus these additional ways of accessing the information, so you can literally carry it around with you if you don't want to walk around with a hard copy. So wonderful friends, without further ado, let's talk about the Art of Manifestation Astro-Moon Diary 2022. The first part of this diary contains just shed loads of information. It's basically all the information you're going to need to be able to connect and understand how to use the incoming lunar energy to enhance the quality of your daily living, how to build a relationship with the lunar energy and know how it directly affects you. This section of general information starts with a page that runs through the process and natural cycle of manifestation, the art of manifestation. We then also have a page that tells you all about how to use this diary. We go on to look at the different phases of the moon, what they mean and how to use them. And then the influence of the different zodiac signs, and also the void of course moon. Sometimes the moon moves from one zodiac sign straight into the next, but sometimes she sits in a space in between, which is known as the void of course moon. It's very, very helpful to understand the influence of this and how it might affect you. We then have a section on solar and lunar eclipses, along with the dates for 2022. And then the planets in retrograde, again with all the dates for the year of 2022. And lastly, in this general section of information, we have information about the natural turning of the seasons and the earth festivals. We then get to the actual diary part of the diary. Each month begins with a rundown of the overall energy with additional guidance from the Art of Manifestation Oracle cards and the runes. We then move into a whole new section which has not been featured in the diaries before. I go through each of the key moon phases in terms of manifestation and give you a little bit of information for each one as to how the overall energy might be affecting you. We then move into the monthly diary pages. Now you'll see that the same moon phases are also highlighted, so it will be very easy for you to check in on the different moon phases and the astrological information and the lunar information to support you in navigating your week and in navigating your diary. The week to view pages also have an area for you to make notes so that you can jot down the way that the lunar energy is actually affecting you personally. This way you'll actually be able to build a really clear awareness of how the moon phases and the energy of the different zodiac signs actually affects and influences you personally. This pattern follows all the way through the diary, month by month, throughout the year. Let's now talk about the journal. I have to say I am so excited about the journal this year because it's really very, very different to the diary. And as I was saying at the beginning of the video, learning about the tribal moon phases, the 13 tribal moons and the Celtic connections just blew me away. It really, really opened up such a whole level of learning for me that has transformed actually so many areas of my life that I really wanted to share my experiences with you. And so that's exactly what I have done in the journal. The journal begins with a general section of information. We begin by looking at the art of manifestation, the cycle and the phases of this, as well as a section on how to use the journal. We then look at working with the tribal and the Celtic moons, along with the listings of these 13 moon cycles. There's then detailed information about the new and full moon cycles, the moon in the zodiac signs, the void of course moon, the solar and the lunar eclipses, and the planets in retrograde for 2022. We also look at the solstices, equinoxes, and the festivals of the earth. And now we get to the really exciting bit. We go through each of the moon phases, the tribal and Celtic moon phases throughout the year. There are 13 sections with detailed information. There's also detailed information about the new moon, along with room to write down your new moon your new moon wishes and your new moon intentions. There's a difference between the two, and I've written about those in the general information at the beginning of the journal. There's also space for you to have detailed information about the full moon, understand how best to connect with that energy, along with space to journal your reflections. Each of the 13 sections of the journal has ordinary journaling pages, both lined and clear. So lastly, let's just talk about the Kindle version, which is going to be launched on the 1st of October, and the PDF that my colleague James is going to put up into our store. Now, the idea of the PDF is that literally, if you want to download this information and have it on your phone, you can access it at your fingertips at any time, as long as you obviously have your phone with you. The Kindle variety is very much there for the same purpose, to allow people who use electronic devices as a diary to access all of the information available without having to pick up and look at either the diary or the journal. So let's have a look at the information. We'll have a quick glance at the table of contents so that you can see exactly what's included in these two different ways of accessing all of this lunar information. As you can see in the table of contents, there is tons and tons of information here. Different to both the diary and the journal, I have actually written a welcome to 2022 with an overview of the energy flow throughout the year. And this is quite an interesting piece of writing. So if you're really wanting to just tune in with that, please do so anyway. At some point, I will post a video about this and probably read it out and stick it onto YouTube. Now, the Kindle and the PDF have general information, the art of manifestation, the monthly moon phases, the 13 tribal and Celtic moon phases, the moon and the zodiac signs, the void of course moons, solar and lunar eclipses, retrogrades, and the earth festivals. So this is general information. There is then monthly information where we literally go through the daily moon placements, the key moon phases, the overview that actually comes from the diary with the oracle card and rune guidance. We've also got sections that give you the information about the tribal and Celtic moon phases as well. So there is a ton of different ways to access this information. Now, lastly, but not leastly, I am going to be doing a series of live webinars where I will be talking about how to manifest with the moon. Now, we haven't scheduled them yet. I anticipate either one a month or one every 3 weeks, but we're certainly going to do several and at varying times so that hopefully wherever you are in the world, you can access them live and get involved in the Q&A part of the webinar. All of those webinars will also be available. They will be recorded and they will be available for anyone at any time. So if you want to get notification of the webinar dates as soon as I post them, or indeed to watch any of the recordings, do make sure that you subscribe, press the little bell icon, then that should come through into your stream. Now, I have to say, I really don't understand how the algorithms of YouTube work. So if for some reason you're not getting notifications through, it would be really, really worth being on one of my email lists, because I will email out those dates and those links as well. Now, what I will do in this, in any of the videos that I post this onto, I'll put a link in the information box below to join our monthly subscriber offer. I give away a free private reading every month. I give away a pack of the Art of Manifestation Oracle cards. And at the moment, right now until 2022, I'm going to be giving away a journal and a diary every month as well, and they are signed copies. So if you would like to join that monthly prize draw, that's probably quite a good email list to be on, and I will email as soon as we have those webinar dates. So it's worth being on one of our email lists somewhere. I'll put the link to that in the information box below and also in the comments for phone users. Wonderful friends, thank you for joining me. I hope you found this information useful, interesting, and I really look forward to seeing you at the webinars when we are really going to get very real and very hands-on about how to manifest with the moon, how to engage with the lunar cycles in ways that really enhance our lives in every possible way. Wonderful friends, tons and tons of love to you. Namaste.